Hello and welcome to our review for Alita Battle Angel.
Woo!
So, tiny preamble. I remember back in the early 2000s when I was like a big James Cameron fan, loved Aliens, The Abyss, the Terminator movies, even Titanic, which had just come out a couple of years previously. And I remember reading online, like it must have been 2000, 2001, James Cameron's new projects, Battle Angel Alita and Avatar. And I thought, I don't know what those things are, but they sound cool. And it took about 10 years for Avatar to happen, and then it took almost 20 years for Alita Battle Angel to happen. It was a manga and briefly an anime, I believe, and James Cameron was a big fan of it, wanted to make a movie out of it, and then thought, no, I'm just going to go do 15 Avatar sequels, so I'm not going to do that. But then director Robert Rodriguez was like, well, why not do it, I suppose. I'm sure that conversation didn't happen, but basically James Cameron gave him the script and he worked on it.
That's exactly what happened.
James Cameron gave him the script and and Robert Rodriguez did the film, and Cameron, I guess, produced, as he's doing with the new Terminator film that's coming out this year with someone else directing it. So James Cameron seems to be like kind of handing off things that he might have done to other directors and kind of overseeing them, but focusing most of his attention on Avatar 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So, what?
You're joking.
I am.
It's 4, right?
It is. I think it's 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
I think it's 4. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised, but
It's gone from 2 to 5 to 6 to 3. I don't know. Anyway, so Alita Battle Angel is. I want to say it has James Cameron's fingerprints on it, but it obviously has original source material, which I'm not familiar with. From what I've read online, people say it's quite a faithful adaptation of the original source material. But regardless, we're just coming into it as a movie.
yeah, and it was a great movie.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for watching.
I'm really pissed off about this because, and I'm really trying to distance myself from it to the point where I feel like I might need to remove myself a little from the online film community because, you know, you just see like, oh, Alita is going to bomb. Like, oh, this is going to be a flop. And then like, oh, Rotten Tomatoes is tweeting like, guys, it's official. Alita Battle Angel is rotten. 15 people reviewed it and it's 33%. And I'm thinking, 15 people in the whole fucking world and 33% of them didn't like it, and now you're saying #rotten? Like, the film hasn't even come out yet. Like, it's 2 weeks before the American release, and it's already... They're building up a hype for people not to go see it.
Yeah, the American release isn't until next week, is it?
Yeah, and... Anyway, so I'll leave that. It bugs me. It annoys me. I think you should just go watch a film and see for yourself. And people keep moaning about superhero fatigue. Oh, I've had enough of all these comic book movies. Give us something different. Mortal Engines comes out. I thought it was great.
But they praised Spider-Man.
Well, that was different. That really was.
That was a comic book superhero movie.
Yes, I don't think anyone's saying it about that. I think people are talking about the Marvel movies. And, I mean, the Marvel movies are incredibly successful, and I don't have that fatigue. I still really enjoy them.
And the Avengers is still going to do great
oh, yeah,
when it comes out.
Absolutely. I'm just saying that there are people who say that they're sick of the same thing over and over again.
Which is true.
And then these new big blockbusters come out, like Mortal Engines, which I'm a big defender of, and then this.
But Alita is so different. It's very original to me. I haven't heard about anything like it. I haven't seen anything like it in like this kind of movie world, even if it's an animation, doesn't matter. Originally, because I haven't,
It's not animation, is it?
No, it used to be like an animation or something.
No, it was manga, so it was basically a comic book. You know, so it is a comic book movie, really.
But when it comes to movies, I haven't seen anything like it. It's different. I love it. And we've got everything that the feminist wants, you know, a strong female lead.
See, I guarantee you no one will be saying, oh, Alita is just a Mary Sue. You'll never see that, you know, even though it's the same thing. But
she is so badass.
Ridiculously strong female. Well, she does have her faults, just like Rey did in Star Wars, but because there's not this built-in fan base, people aren't going to go crazy about it. But I remember seeing the trailer and going, wow, that's... Eesh, those big eyes. those manga eyes. Like
I don't like the big eyes.
That's a
but
weird choice.
I got used to it, and you know what? She had to look different somehow. If she had normal eyes, you wouldn't see that she was different.
I thought it was great in the context of watching it in the whole movie, because the eyes are the most expressive part, of the human face. I think you can see so much in them, and obviously that depends on how well they animate the eyes. And I think that Alita as a character is probably second only to Caesar in the Planet of the Apes movies as far as a CGI character. Like, I can't think of any other one that's as good. Like, just as far as the technical detail.
Which is probably also why they made her eyes bigger. To make it okay, because to me it seems like whenever they done a real life character
like a
model,
straight human, yeah.
Yes. It's been the eyes that has put it off for me.
Yeah.
So if they would have tried to make her look realistic, it would have been distracting seeing that she wasn't.
It could, but I'm almost wondering what it would look like now with real eyes, because I just think everything from the hair to, like, there's a moment where she wakes up and there's a close-up on her face. You can see, like, all the...
It's the opening scene where she wakes up and she wiggles her nose.
You can see the follicles on the face, like the down hair. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's... so impressive. And then,
See, I couldn't see that well because I wasn't wearing my glasses, because we watched it in 3D.
And the greatest compliment I can pay that is that it didn't distract me at all. At no point was like, oh wow, the 3D is great.
Mr. Mustache on Superman, I didn't see that.
Yeah, at no point with the 3D was I like, oh wow, this is so cool, but I didn't really notice it. So that's something, I guess.
Yeah. And it was just when it was over, I was like, what? That's it? And it lasted for what, 2 hours?
Yeah, just about 2 hours, yeah.
And to me, it felt short. I wasn't bored at all.
No.
I was intrigued in every scene. I was actually thinking at some point that you must have noticed how I was like...
I didn't actually, no.
I was so into it, my mouth opened, and whenever there was a scene where you get a little bit tense, I was like over tense, and I was leaning, and I was going back, and I went like this, and I was just like, I was so into it, and I was thinking about the Spider-Man thing where I was going like this, and I was thinking that no, I'm surprised that you didn't notice.
Well, I was wrapped up in it too,
Yeah, it was great. There's this roller skating thingy.
Rollerball or something like motorball, I think, was it? Something like that.
I can't remember, but they're on rollerblades, and it's so awesome, and it made me want to try. Not that exact sport because it's very violent, but roller derby or something. I don't know. It was really cool, and just everything about it was visually striking. The story was solid in my eyes. It has a cliffhanger that makes me like, if this one actually doesn't go, if it doesn't go well and they don't make a second one, I'm gonna be pissed off because I want to see what happens. Okay? Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, so the story, I liked it. I think that it, and the world, I mean, again, who cares about the story? Like, the world is so cool, like the way it's designed. Iron City, I think they called it. There's a lot of sets. Again, like, it just reminds me of Mortal Engines. Lots of practical stuff, and then obviously you have the CGI backgrounds and the floating city, which is a really cool, elusive location throughout the whole film.
I love how she asked if it's magic that held it up, and he said no, better engineering.
Yeah.
And I was just like, ah.
See, and Christoph Waltz,
cool,
an incredible actor who, plays the...
Where is he from?
I think he's... I don't want to say because I'm not sure. He's European, though, I think.
Is he?
Fairly certain.
Oh, so that wasn't a fake accent then?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Not entirely sure, but regardless, he's a great actor and does really well in this one as this doctor surgeon who kind of gives people different kind of electronic limbs and things like that. He works in replacements of body parts with electronics and finds her in a scrap heap and puts her back together again. I thought it was kind of a touching idea that it was a body he made for his daughter, and I don't think...
And it was a beautiful put together body too.
Yeah.
Like the little details that looked like she was kind of like, what do you call that? Kind of white.
Skeletal?
Ember? No.
Ember?
Is that a white?
No, you're thinking like the elephant tusks, like...
Yeah. It looked like that.
Right, yeah.
And then it had like gold details in between the joints and everything. And when she moved her fingers, you heard this little like sizzling.
Sidling.
I can't think of the word for it. This
Sound.
Very pleasing sound. Like she sounded like crystal. In a way. Crystally.
It makes you think of, like, do you know the subtitles for the hard of hearing that not only tell you the dialogue, but like they describe the sounds? And on the Twin Peaks Blu-ray, it's like ominous electrical whooshing or stuff like that. So like on the Alita one, it would just be like really pleasing sound that Connie can't describe.
Crystal-like sound when she moved her fingers.
And I really liked her character because she doesn't remember who she was, even though she's robotic and kind of an android, but she can speak, she doesn't need to learn how to talk again, and we can jump right into that, just someone being thrown into a new world. But then how, that's the one thing that I've seen people criticize is the romance plot with the boy.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it, and I'll tell you why, because it wasn't a typical romance. From her side, I think she almost imprinted on him, because she's in this new world, and she's got this guy, this doctor, who's given her this new life, and she's appreciative of that, but he's restricting her. He doesn't want her to go out, he wants her to be safe. She wants to go out and see everything, and this boy enables her to do that. So she's very appreciative of that, and obviously, there's an attraction there and whatever, and he likes her, but he is a character who has a little bit of a shady background. So he wasn't completely good, he wasn't completely bad, and so there's a moral grey area to his character. And at one point he's saying to her, like, you shouldn't trust anyone. He's kind of telling her almost in a way, don't trust me, because he's in a tough spot. And there are moments where she's like, I'll give you everything, I'll give you my heart, and she pulls her heart out.
I thought that was a dream.
Huh?
When she did that, I was thinking like, oh, fuck this. That's a dream. He's dreaming this. And it's like his guilt talking to him or something like that. But then I realized she's actually saying that. And I was like, whoa, Jesus Christ, you're moving fast.
No, but no.
But then she acknowledges it afterwards.
She does. She's like, oh, that was intense.
And I'm just like, yeah, run, boy. When someone physically takes their heart, I'm like, I'll give you my heart. And then we've been talking about this heart as well. That's like the most important part of her body, and I'm thinking like, no, she wouldn't say that. And then, okay, so she's that in love with him, or I don't know, or she just cares about other people that much.
Right. Well,
she would probably do the same to the doctor guy.
Well, she said that with me it's all or nothing, or something to that effect. But also, like, it's a really cheesy line, like, I'll give you my heart, and she literally pulls it out. But she kind of is meaning it in that way, but also she's literally just meaning, this is a really expensive piece of gear, we can sell it. So it works on two different levels. The moment where he's like, you're the most human person I've ever met, that's... It's
worse in the trailer, but
it is.
The scene itself, I was thinking, oh, it actually wasn't that bad.
I agree, but it still is a little bit... And
I was only distracted by it because I've seen it in the trailer.
It
was like, oof,
it
like
was,
that.
It was.
But when it was delivered in the movie, it made sense because of how she led up to the sentence and what happened afterwards.
But I definitely would agree it's the least interesting part of the film and perhaps the least successful. But I certainly didn't have a problem with it. And, I loved her kind of finding her memories, kind of finding her combat skills. The scene when she gets the new body and she does the kind of balancing on her finger, like, that's a fucking cool scene. It's so enjoyable to see her go from strength to strength and really decide where she stands and what she's going to do in this world and what she wants to kind of achieve. And then seeing the doctor kind of become kind of almost like a protective father, like the scene when she goes to the rollerball thing and he's like, gotta wear your knee pads and all this.
Okay, Miyagi.
Yeah. So I love the world again, and so I just kind of loved pretty much everything about the film, and not perfect.
I can't wait to see it again.
Yeah,
I'm almost considering going in early on Tuesday just to watch it again, but I want to see Spider-Man again too. I don't have enough time to watch all the movies.
I'd want to see it again too, as well. Yeah, and the ending is very cliffhanger-ish, and it's one of those scenes where it's like the scene's happening, the ending scene, you're like, okay, now we're getting into the final cut. Oh, credits. But at first it disappointed me. I think I can live with it because it's a bit of a different ending. You can kind of imagine what would happen next and what she was going to do next. But still, I would love to see that world explored further, and I'd love to see a sequel.
It was pretty much the same type of ending and the same feeling I had, like I had at the end of Kill Bill Volume 1. Because it was so much like shot out there in a way, and it was like, oh, it's over. Wait, hang on a minute. They tell them you have to wait years to see what happens next, if we even get to see what happens next. But then again, they are making another Terminator movie.
Mm-hmm.
And if they are, with that one doing the way it did, because that didn't do good, did it?
It made a fair amount of money, but it wasn't critically received very well.
And this one should.
I mean, who knows? We can hope that it'll make a lot of money in China, because I mean that sometimes happens. But I just think
Japan as well, because it's manga.
No, but China's it's a potentially huge market. Like sometimes they hit, like Star Wars. I think never does good in China, but like certain places it does. And you look at something like Venom, which is a perfectly okay film that wasn't received very well by critics and did like shitloads of money. So they're gonna do a sequel.
See, so
I can only hope for a sequel. And again,
that wasn't even that great.
But I don't like to think about films in terms of how much money they make. But in this case, I'm really invested because I want to see more. And apparently James Cameron wanted to do 3 films.
They got to do at least one more. I like the reveal at the end of a certain villain.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I know who that is.
I thought it was.
And then he had to tell me, and I was like, of course that's who it is.
I thought the guy who played the villain was James Cameron because he has the same exact hair as James Cameron and has a similar looking face. And then he takes.
So you're not going to spoil who.
I'm not going to spoil who it is, but you see him who it is as soon as he takes the glasses off. He's like, oh, it's him, which is kind of cool. But it's got a good cast: Jennifer Connelly, Mahershala, I believe, Ali. So it's got a good supporting cast of characters, but mainly I just think the visual and the fight scenes are great.
They're filmed very well.
Yes.
It's not messy.
Yep.
You get to see pretty much everything. It's very. There's a lot of variety.
Mm-hmm. I
think it's not the same thing over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
You just want to see more of what she can do, and even when she's pretty much beat, she still keeps on fighting.
I love that, yeah.
There's a certain scene which makes you go like, oh, and there's another scene, a John Wick scene, which makes me go like, you fucking kill that fucking bastard right fucking now.
Oh, yes,
or I'm going to get into that
yeah.
movie and do it myself.
Yeah.
And obviously she's not much. I'm a lot more emotional over things like that than most people, I think. And it really... Oh, I'm just so glad she... bastard. I can't remember how she did it, but...
That's one thing one moment of the film I thought, they could have just cut that out. There's a bounty hunter who is a dog lover, and he has all these robotic dogs, and even like a real dog. And there's a thing with the dog, and he turns up and almost like... just kind of like one of those weird kind of comedic, like he turns up and he's like, he's not a dog person. I hate that. And it's just wasn't funny. Just felt like really shoehorned in and just I didn't like that.
No, he said it with sadness. I like that.
He did, but...
He was very sad and angry. Yeah.
Like,
because of what he did.
That bar scene was great, and the android...
Oh, I like that mini villain, the British guy.
Right, now...
Isn't he the guy from...
Deadpool. He's the villain in Deadpool.
Ah, he's Francis.
Francis?
Isn't that his name?
I think Francis. So. I don't know. I'm not...
I thought maybe he was the bad guy in Divergent.
No, maybe he is. I don't know. I haven't seen Divergent since we saw it in New York. Funnily enough. Anyway, but I agree. I thought he was really good. When I saw him in the trailer, I thought, just the face.
That one scene, though, where she grabs him after he grabs her in the trailer, I've seen that again and again because I think it's such a...
It's not the same in the movie, is it?
No, I knew when it was coming. I was like, yeah!
Yeah, but in the trailer, they speed up the frame, so it looks even more snappy. In the movie, it's more of a pull down. In the trailer, you see I
didn't notice that.
Yeah, the trailer, they kind of funked up the editing a little bit, but Yeah, that was a great scene.
Probably to time with the music.
But I thought he was actually really good, and the design just looks very garish, just a face on a robot. I thought it's not going to work, but I thought the CGI was for the most part really good in the film, and then in terms of Alita, great. And yeah, what more can we really say?
Oh, a bunch, but I think we should just keep it at this. Like,
yeah, it's been going for about 20 minutes now.
Yeah.
So. Love the film, really did.
Can't wait to see it again.
Yeah,
we should get a 4K TV.
Oh,
I can't wait to see it in 2D, because a lot of times when we watch a movie in 3D and we watch it in 2D, it's a very different experience. Just like Avatar. When I watched that in 2D after having seen it in the cinema in 3D, I was like, ooh, that doesn't look nice. I want to watch Avatar now. But it does look nice. It looks great. It's such a different experience when you can't do that with the white thingies coming at you. And yeah. And there's a scene where he's got these things coming out of his fingers. Mm-hmm. And I like the 3D effect in that one. I was really trying to focus on how they were gonna. There's a
moment where a bad guy is like, he's fighting her and he's intimidating her, and he's like, I'm gonna like, I forget what he said. I'm gonna like hold you up and you'll be begging for mercy or something. And she fights back and hits him in the face, and she's like, "Fuck your mercy." And I was just like, "Oh," she said, "Fuck." Like just reminded me of when
she only says it once, and so it has an impact.
Well, that's the thing. They're only allowed one, aren't they? Because they got to keep the age rating. But
they picked a good spot.
Yeah, but I just find it funny how like. You get excited, like, oh, they said the F word in a film when they probably shouldn't, like in Ready Player One, when they're like, it's fucking Chucky or something like that. And but then I just think, like, if you said it once, like, well, I don't get these rules.
Why can't you say it again?
I know
I understand the amount of blood they're allowed to show.
Not that I was like, oh, I wish they'd said fuck more. I'm just saying, like, I don't understand the rule in general.
There are certain places where you feel like saying that word, and it's not just there.
Yeah.
The guy with the dogs would have said that word. He looked like a that kind of guy.
But I just want to see more of it. I want to see more of that world and more of the story.
Can't wait to see behind the scenes and the making.
Yeah, I hope there's a lot of it. You can't really tell,
Peter Jackson, get on it.
Right, exactly. But yeah, like you said, I think when we get a 4K TV and player, I think this would probably be one of the ones near the top of the list.
We have 4K.
No?
Yeah, the PlayStation is 4K.
Yeah, for games, it doesn't play 4K Blu-rays. We'd have to buy a dedicated 4K Blu-ray player as well, which are going down and down in price because it's been out for years now.
I guess.
But we're not in any rush, but eventually we'll get to that point, and I think films like Blade Runner
TV,
and Alita will probably be near the top.
70 inches. I'm not kidding.
I didn't say you were. I was just laughing.
You were laughing.
So, big thumbs up for this film. I thought it was great. And you know what? It is quite cheesy, but it reminded me of like films in the 90s that I loved, like action movies where, yeah, it's cheesy, but who cares? It's just a good fucking time at the cinema, So I'm glad we paid the extra to go see it in IMAX just for the bigger screen and all that. And yeah, so anything else?
I'm glad we moved back one seat. We were so close to the screen, and I'd been that close before, and I remember it was just... With the 3D, you don't want to move your head and stuff like that. I do sometimes do this to read something, and then the 3D kind of cuts out, and I'm like, oh shit. But we moved back one seat, and then we were kind of like on level with the bottom of the screen, and that helped a lot. Than being underneath the bottom of the screen, because that's just, no, I don't want to look up like that too much. I remember being happy that we did that.
Yeah. Fuck,
closer than that in the future.
Fuck, I want to see it again. I want to go watch it again next week. You know what I mean? Like, we'll just screw the Lego movie. Let's just go watch it later again.
No, you can just watch the other... Screw the Lego movie? Yeah. What about the movie you're going to watch before the Lego movie?
Right, this is just getting into like an actual discussion now where we don't need to put this in the video.
I guess.
So anyway.
We're watching the Lego movie.
Alright, we'll watch the Lego. We'll watch the Lego movie. Okay.
I can watch Alita while you watch the others.
We watched this the same day as we watched How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World, and when we got out of the cinema, you were like, "What you said? You loved it so much that you don't even care about the."
I didn't know how I could be excited about a different movie because I'm so excited about this one. It was like the Spider-Man movie, and I was super excited about that one.
So I was glad that you liked it that much. So
loved it.
Yeah. Oh, I loved it. Even so, there we go.
When we walked out, I just turned to him and I went, "Wow."
I thought you were being sarcastic. I really didn't know how you would take to it, honestly. I wasn't sure.
That could have been sarcastic.
It could have been, yeah. All right, so thank you for watching. Leave your thoughts on the film down below if you have seen it, and farewell.
He's alright by me. Apart from the fact he throws cans and calling into a tree. Yeah, he's really cool. Yeah, he's really cool. But he's not quite as cool as you.